Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast with Phil Graham. We help you master Facebook ads and give you an unfair advantage over your competition. Are you ready? Let's go.
What's up, friends? Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast, episode 468. I'm Phil Graham. Today, I want to talk about the Facebook and Instagram ad metrics that I think matter the most here in the second quarter of 2026. So many advertisers either obsess over the wrong metrics and or even ignore the right ones. So I want to try and simplify it for you guys today and talk to you and show you what I think deserves the most attention. Now, you might even have a great dashboard that has numbers on them, and it can make you feel good and feel like you're informed. It could actually confuse things even more if you don't know what to properly track. So we're going to fix that today. But before we do, if you guys want to get in touch, if you want some help with your ads, with your AI, there's two options. There's done for you or there's one-on-one consulting, which in my opinion, that consulting is the best way in the world to learn by far. It's specific to you and your exact situation and your exact business in real time. But for either one of those things, just go to my website, philgrahamdigital.com, or you can DM me on Instagram at philgrahamdigital. I'd love to connect with you. So I want to start by talking about the context of ad metrics. I want you to remember this because it's really important. Metrics matter, but only in the proper context. You could have certain metrics that tells a story for one advertiser that looks good, but may be bad for another advertiser because there are so many different variables and so many different goals and things going on. And so you've got to be very careful with that. You got to make sure that you're paying attention to the right things in the right situations. Now, shocker, I've got a sports analogy for you for this, but I want you to imagine you're tracking football metrics and it's the last play of the game and a team is down by 2 points and they're getting ready to try and kick a 3-point field goal. And you might judge that play based off of did the quarterback throw a touchdown? That would be a better metric typically than a field goal would. However, in that context, in that situation, when they can win the game with a field goal on the last play, tracking a touchdown pass is not the right thing to track, is it? Even though overall it's a better metric, but not in that situation. I hope that makes sense. So you got to make sure you're tracking the right stuff and you're tracking it in the proper context. It's so important. Let's talk about the job of the ad. Now, it has lots of jobs, but what is your ad's first job? And that is to get attention. If it doesn't get attention, nothing else matters. So what are some metrics that can tell you whether you're getting attention? Well, click-through rate is a really important one. If nobody's engaging with the ad, then people are not clicking on it. So if you're comparing your link click-through rate to benchmarks for your industry, which you should have, if you don't have them, let me know and tell me your industry and I can help you out. But that's a good way of seeing if your ad is even getting attention in the first place. Because if it's not working, you have to know why. Is it even getting attention so people notice it? If not, you know you've got a certain problem you have to solve. Maybe people are noticing it and they are clicking on it, but it's still not working. Well, then you go to the next step. You know they're clicking and getting attention. So that click-through rate is really important. And when you're in the ads manager, you want to make sure you're looking at link click-through rate, not just regular click-through. Focus on link click-through rate because that is a really good indicator of whether your ad is getting any attention in the first place. So the second part of your ad, the second job, is to generate a action. And I would even say a qualified action, an action from somebody who could be a potential customer or client, whether that is just a click or a purchase, a lead, a sign up. You want to generate a qualified action. So there's some data that you can pay attention to and some metrics that help you know if you're doing a good job of trying to generate these qualified actions. So beyond the click-through rate, what are some qualified actions? Well, lead quality. If you're doing lead ads, what is the quality of those leads? We're not talking cost here. I mean, yes, you're going to track the cost, obviously, but more important than cost is the quality. So you want to track the quality of your leads. What I typically do is I even give a score of 0 to 10, with 10 being the best. And I will grade my leads and I'll know what quality they were, where they came from, and how to get more of them. Also, what is the conversion rate? So once they click over from an ad, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to buy something, sign up for something, schedule a call? The conversion rate, obviously, super important metrics and data to track. And again, you're not just tracking the cost of these things, but also the quality of these things and whether they turn into customers or clients or not. And then my next point, and this is super important, revenue and result metrics matter a lot more than what I would call vanity metrics. So vanity metrics would be like likes and comments and shares, things like that. Those are nice to see. But I've had ads that crushed it without any of that stuff. I've also had ads and seen ads that got tons of engagement and tons of likes and comments, but no purchases. That doesn't automatically mean it's a good ad. So you always want to bring it back to the outcome. Don't get tied up on just likes and comments and engagement. Did that become an ad that produced leads that are high quality at a good cost, or sales that are coming in at a really good cost? Yes or no? So you got to really focus on that and do not be blinded by likes, comments, and engagement. And then one other thing that I see a lot of people making mistakes with is they react way too early and or way too often to what I would call either bad data or noisy data. So you might be going along doing pretty well, and then all of a sudden you have a bad day where it seems like nothing worked. Your ad data was horrible that day, or maybe even for a couple days. And then you panic and freak out and change everything. One day or a couple days doesn't automatically mean you have an issue or a bad campaign or a bad ad. Give it some time and see if it's a trend or not. That is super important because so many people make that mistake. So in general, yes, you're going to track return on ad spend, cost per lead, cost per sale, cost per click, cost per thousand, and click-through rate and things like that. Those are all super important things. But remember, you're not just going to track the cost, but you're also going to track the quality, because that, my friends, is just as important. So I want you guys to remember the best data and the best metrics are the ones that help you make better decisions, not the ones that look cool or just make your report look busy or overloaded with stuff. It's the ones that help you make better decisions. So don't just track everything equally. Track the most important things that helps you decide what to do next. And as always, just a reminder, it's always important to point out that every business is unique. Results can vary. There's no guaranteed outcomes. So always keep that in mind. So my friends, I hope that was helpful. Next week, we're going to be talking about the fastest way people kill winning Facebook ads without meaning to. Until then, episode 468 is in the books. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you want to get in touch, philgrahamdigital.com is the website. Until then, I hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and I'll talk to you on next week's episode. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast. Please remember to subscribe and share this with all your friends. For show notes, more tips, and to learn more about Phil, please visit philgrahamdigital.com/podcast.